The Last Passenger by Will Dean, published by Hodder and Stoughton, and this is a novel. It's a psychodrama that is set on an ocean liner. It's not a cruise ship, it's much more than that. It's sumptuous, it's luxurious, and it's crossing from England to New York, so it's on the Atlantic, and this is the RMS Atlantica. We meet Kaz, who has boarded the boat with her boyfriend Pete. Her sister thinks maybe he's going to ask her to get engaged. They have dinner. They have a bit of a wobbly evening because she thinks about her father, who was quite a tricky character in her formative years, and it's informed the way she is as an adult. Back home, she runs a cafe, and she is, she keeps a sort of easy life at home. She isn't looking for adventure, but boy, on this boat does she get adventure. So she has a wobbly evening on their first evening, but this is nothing compared to what happens the next day. She wakes up and discovers that Pete next to her is no longer there, which is unusual because he might leave a note, doesn't take much notice of it, but then something kind of gets into her brain and she goes to look for him. And what she discovers is that the boat is chugging its way across the Atlantic, but there is nobody aboard. Everyone has disappeared. It's really quite shocking that she seems to be the only person left on this boat. So she runs through all the corridors, she goes to the dining areas, she's in search of food, there is no food. She goes up onto the decks, she can't see a person. She goes up to the captain's bridge and everything is working, but she can't stop anything, she can't make a mayday call, as she is just beside herself. Well, I mean, you can imagine what it must be like. And so she starts to look around the ship to really get a sense of what has happened. And what does she do now? Because imagine being marooned on a huge liner in the middle of the ocean with nobody else around. I mean, it's quite frightening, to be honest. And that is where I'm going to leave the review, because I think if one were to say anything more about the plot line, I think it would be quite a spoiler. Suffice it to say that I enjoyed this novel. It's a good read, it's well written, as you would expect from Will Dean. It really kind of highlights the machinations of people, of cruelty, of manipulation. And therefore, in some ways, I was actually quite glad to end it. Now, it comes to an ending, and you might almost think that Will Dean has set himself up for, part two, another novel coming. But I don't think that's his remit here. It's a good read, it's gripping. I really wanted to know what had happened to the passengers. What was this all about? How would it end? So I think if you're looking for a psychological thriller, that is set in a kind of locked room, and in this case it's a locked ship, then I think The Last Passenger is actually one to pick up and put on your bookshelves, because the writing's great, as you would expect, and the plot line is very, very interesting, if a bit bonkers.